I do not mean things got quieter. I mean no sound at all. No wind, no voices, no music, no explosions, no footsteps, nothing. Complete silence. At first, that does not sound so bad. Honestly, it might even sound peaceful. No traffic, no arguments, no alarms waking you up too early. Just calm. But that calm would not last long, because sound is not just noise. Sound is information. Sound is how the world talks to itself. And if Earth suddenly stopped making sound, things would get very strange, very fast. So let's slow this down and figure out what sound actually is before we take it away. Sound is vibration. When something moves, it shakes the air around it. Those tiny air movements travel as waves. Your ears catch those waves. Your brain turns them into meaning. That meaning helps you survive. If Earth stopped making sound, those vibrations would stop completely. Nothing would be able to shake the air in a way that creates sound waves. Now here's the important part. This does not just affect your ears, it affects everything. So let's start at the very beginning. The first second, the moment sound disappears. You are sitting somewhere, maybe at home, maybe outside. You open your mouth to speak. Nothing comes out. You clap your hands. No sound. At first, you think something is wrong with you. Maybe your ears are blocked. Maybe you are dreaming. You snap your fingers. Silence. Cars are moving, but they are ghostly. No engines, no horns, no tires on the road. Birds flap their wings, but there is no chirping. Trees sway, but there is no rustling. The world looks normal, but it feels broken. Within seconds, panic begins. People rely on sound to confirm reality. When sound disappears, your brain struggles. It feels like something fundamental is missing, like color disappearing or gravity turning off. Now let's move a little further forward. A few minutes in, communication collapses. You cannot talk, you cannot shout. People try to use phones, but phone calls are useless. Sound cannot travel. Microphones pick up nothing. Speakers produce nothing. Hospitals are suddenly in trouble. Doctors and nurses rely on spoken commands. Machines rely on sound alerts. Because sound is not just for humans. Animals are about to have a very bad day. Let's talk about animals next. Birds rely on sound to communicate danger, territory, and mating calls. Without sound, birds cannot warn each other. They cannot coordinate. Flocks break apart. Predators that hunt using sound are suddenly blind in a new way. Owls cannot hear mice. Dolphins cannot use echolocation. Bats crash into things almost immediately. Whales are hit the hardest. They use sound to navigate entire oceans. Many would beach themselves within days. Even insects rely on vibration and sound. Crickets go quiet. Bees cannot communicate properly inside hives. Now let's go deeper. Because sound is not just communication, it is structure. Buildings and machines are designed with sound in mind. Vibrations reveal cracks. Whining noises warn engineers something is wrong. Without sound, small problems stay hidden until they become big problems. Factories become dangerous places. Machines still move, but you cannot hear if something is grinding, overheating, or failing. Planes still fly, but pilots lose a huge amount of information. Engine sounds matter. Changes in pitch matter. Without them, flying becomes riskier. Now here is where things get even stranger. Explosions make no sound. That sounds nice until you realize what sound actually does during an explosion. Sound carries energy away. Without sound, more energy stays concentrated in shockwaves and heat. Explosions become more destructive in unexpected ways. You do not hear them, but you feel them. You see buildings collapse in complete silence. No boom, no warning, just motion. This is deeply unsettling for the human brain. Silence during chaos is terrifying. Now let's talk about nature. Earth without sound is not Earth as we know it. Wind usually makes noise. Waves crash, thunder roars. Earth constantly releases energy through sound. If Earth stopped making sound, that means vibrations in air are gone. Wind still moves air, but somehow without creating sound waves. That means the atmosphere behaves differently. Storms look wrong. Lightning flashes, but there is no thunder. Tornadoes spin silently. Now let's move to something even more serious. Earthquakes. Earthquakes produce sound waves. Those waves help scientists detect them early. Without sound, early warning systems fail. You do not hear rumbling. You do not get alerts. The ground just starts moving. Volcanoes are the same. No roaring, no warning, just sudden eruptions. Civilization starts to fracture, but humans are adaptable. So let's give humanity some time. Weeks pass. People develop new ways to communicate. Writing becomes king. Gestures become complex. Light signals appear everywhere. Cities become filled with screens and flashing symbols. Mental health collapses. Silence is not calming when it is total. The human brain evolved in a noisy world. Your heartbeat, your breathing, footsteps, voices. These sounds reassure you that you exist. Without sound, people feel disconnected from reality. Depression becomes common. Sleep becomes difficult. Music is gone. This is bigger than it sounds. Music is emotional regulation for humans. Without it, cultures lose something deep. No songs, no laughter, no crying sounds. People still cry, but they do not hear it. Now let's talk about science and technology again. Sound is essential for measurement. Ultrasound is used in medicine. Sonar is used in oceans. Doctors lose a major diagnostic tool. Submarines become blind. Earth science slows down dramatically. Now let's ask a very important question. Would Earth itself survive? Yes. The planet would keep spinning. Gravity stays. The sun still shines. But life on Earth would change forever. Evolution would take a new path. Animals that rely on sound would die out or evolve new senses. Species would change their behavior completely. Humans might adapt too, over generations. Future humans might develop enhanced vision, better pattern recognition, and stronger reliance on touch. But they would never know music, never hear a voice, never experience laughter as sound. Now let's go back to you. You are still alive. Months into silence, you wake up one morning and realize something strange. You forgot what sound feels like. Your brain no longer expects it. Silence becomes normal. You stop missing it the way you once did. But something else changes. The world feels less alive. You watch people talk using signs and screens. You watch waves hit the shore without a crash. You watch storms without sound. It feels like watching a movie on mute forever. Functional, but empty. So what is the final outcome? If Earth suddenly stopped making sound, humanity would survive, at least for a while. Civilization would shrink, simplify, and change. Nature would suffer massive losses before stabilizing in a quieter form. The planet would continue, but the soul of life, the rhythm, the feedback, the constant conversation between things would be gone. Sound is not just noise. It is how the universe reminds us that things are happening. And without it, Earth would still exist. But it would feel like it stopped speaking. And maybe that silence would be the loudest thing we ever experience. But that is just one impossible scenario. Because for now, the world is still loud. Still alive. Still talking. And that is probably a good thing. But if you think silence is scary, wait until you hear what happens when something much heavier falls from space. If you enjoyed exploring this strange version of Earth, make sure to subscribe. We post new what if videos every week, breaking down impossible ideas in a way that actually makes sense.